in the 1930s and 40s, we recognized that these vegetarians had a serious problem. They were not getting enough iodine.
Parenting tips, celebrity interviews, recipes, conversations with experts, DIYs, and lots more. Subscribe to Kids Talk Press now.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Kids Talk Press. You know, when you are cooking in the kitchen, what happens is that we all have a little advice that comes on from mothers, grandmothers, and we kind of just go with it. Like, you know, the chana cup, you put the potli in the chana, or you have a chalk, and there's a particular way of doing it. But there's a science behind it, and I have somebody with me who is going to make that, and he's going to tell us how that happens and what is the science behind all of this. And actually, everything that happens in the kitchen is based on science, and we don't even think about it. So let's dive into it, because I'm super excited to get to know what else he has to say. There are so many different kinds of salts.
Yeah.
Pink salt, black salt, Himalayan salt. Which one do you think works or doesn't work?
Yeah. I mean, sort of let me go back to the mathematical point I made about denominators. Right? The first question to ask is, what percentage of pink salt is sodium chloride? And it turns out to be 98%.
Oh.
Right? So 2% of pink salt is all of these other fancy things. Right? The next question is, how much salt you use when you make a dish? You know, a tablespoon, teaspoon, a couple of teaspoons, right? For an entire dish. So think about 2% of that is the amount of minerals you're getting. That is not even a rounding error. So therefore, you're just paying through the roof for zero benefits. It's just salt, right? The only variations can be in flavor, right? Because the salts can be rough and textured, right? So kosher salt has a more coarser texture. Your desi kind of salt has a thick sort of this thing, and then you have your black salt has a sulfurous smell, which we use like in chaat masala, smells of eggs and so on, right? And pinks, but the point is that I think again you are simply not getting. You're getting such a tiny amount of those things that it's completely irrelevant and trivial. Okay. So in that sense that. And here's another danger. India has a large number of vegetarians relative to other parts of the world, right? And in the 1930s and 40s, we recognized that these vegetarians had a serious problem. They were not getting enough iodine, and so poorer children were having these goiter and these thyroid issues, which actually affects brain development when you're. So it's a serious issue, and that's the reason why worldwide people started to iodize salt. Right, and add that sodium iodide, so that way salt is being used every day, and you don't need much, and it's there. These other fancy salts, unless you pay attention, they're not iodized.
Yes.
Right, and these vegetarian people using they's fancy salts, they're taking these serious, irresponsible risks. So I would actually tell them, by all means, you're making some fancy dish, use that. But on your day-to-day basis, please use iodized salt, or buy one of those pink salts that is iodized.
Yeah, we don't realize, and I didn't realize this for a while, that pink salt actually does not contain iodine.
No, not naturally, unless you add it, right?
Yeah.
Because again, so pink salt comes from all pink salt in the world comes from one mine in Pakistan. All pink salt. That's why they call it Himalayan pink salt, because they don't want to call it Pakistani pink salt for branding reasons. But it all comes from there, right? And it's very far away from the sea. Iodine is something that you find closer to the sea in fish and eggs and so on. So iodine, natural sources of iodine, not plants, all animals. So if you're vegetarian, you have a problem. Okay. So that is why we decided to iodize salt. Right.
Parenting tips, celebrity interviews, recipes, conversations with experts, DIYs, and lots more. Subscribe to Kids Talk Press now.